Today I'm going to explain step by step how to make a website for your business, and I'll do it in only about 10 minutes, all in plain English without any technobabble. Over the past 20 years, I've tried many tools, techniques, and different platforms for designing and developing websites. What I'm showing you today is the process I use to build websites for both myself and clients. And make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to reveal the #1 mistake that slows down websites and how to solve or prevent this problem. Let's get started. Step #1, it all starts with purchasing your domain name through a domain registrar. Many people use GoDaddy. I use Namecheap.com. Domains are inexpensive, costing only about $10 to $15 per year. You'll need to renew your domain name each year, just like renewing your license plate for your car. Don't agonize over your domain name. Keep it simple and find something that makes sense and has a reasonable connection to your brand. I have a guide on my website with tips for choosing a domain name. There's a link to this guide in the description below. Pro tip, set your domain to auto-renew each year. If you don't renew your domain and you let your domain registration lapse, your website will go offline. I've had this happen to more than one client. Also, you can usually ignore all the upsells. You don't need to purchase multiple domains with different extensions. The .com version is all you need. One final and important thing about buying your domain name, purchase your domain yourself. Do not have a marketing consultant or a web developer buy it for you, because then they will hold the keys to your digital kingdom, and you never want to be in that situation. For a more detailed explanation, I have an article on my website, and once again, the link is in the description below. Step #2, after purchasing your domain name, you now need to purchase hosting for your website. If you want to build a house, you need a piece of land to build that house upon. Similarly, if you want to build a website, you need a place on the internet where your website will reside. This place is called your web host, which is simply a server. You do not need expensive hosting, especially starting out, if ever. There's lots of different web hosts to choose from. Examples of popular web hosts that have been around for years include Bluehost, DreamHost, SiteGround, A2 Hosting. I've used HostGator since 2010 and they've been great. They have reasonable pricing and provide good support. Whatever hosting company you go with, make sure they provide you with an SSL certificate. This is how you get that little padlock in your website browser that lets visitors know your site is secure. Once upon a time, not that long ago, you had to go out and purchase an SSL certificate and install it on your web host. But now, many major web hosting companies provide a free SSL certificate at no charge. Step #3 is to install WordPress onto your hosting account. WordPress is the most popular platform today for building websites, and it's used by over 800 million sites. WordPress is relatively user-friendly, and there's a huge ecosystem of themes, plugins, and technical support built around it. To install WordPress, you'll need to log into your hosting control panel, also known as a cPanel. You access your cPanel via a web browser by visiting the URL yourdomain/cPanel. In other words, just type in whatever your domain is, followed by /cPanel. Once in your cPanel, scroll down to WordPress Manager by Softaculous. I think that's how you pronounce it, and just follow the steps and fill in the blanks. As with any of these steps I'm outlining for you today, if you get stuck or need help, just do a Google or YouTube search, and I guarantee you'll find the info you're seeking. For quick reference, I've included a link in the description below for a tutorial video on how to install WordPress on your hosting account. If you know what you're doing, installing WordPress should only take a few minutes. So congratulations, you now have a domain, web hosting, and WordPress set up and ready to go. Now, WordPress by itself is pretty ugly, and it doesn't look like much on its own. So you're going to need a theme to make things look good and resemble a website. But I'm going to suggest you pump the brakes and hold off installing a theme just for the moment, because there are 2 other important steps you need to complete first. So step #4, the next thing you want to do is create the content for your site, either with good old pencil and paper or write it out in a Word doc. You want to put in writing who you are, what you offer, how people get your product or service, what problem it solves, and how it makes your clients' lives better, as well as answers to frequently asked questions. A fundamental principle in website design is content drives design and not the other way around. So the reason why you want to get your content gathered and organized first before selecting a theme is to avoid trying to jam a square peg into a round hole. Yes, looks matter, and the visual appearance of your site and your brand is important, but the message of your site is way more important than how your site looks. That's why I believe it's more important to first get your messaging right, then figure out how you want to visually present your message rather than starting with a fixed design template that may or may not not be the best fit for the message you want to convey. In step number 5, it's now time to create wireframe mockups. In the same way an architect creates blueprints for a house before digging a hole and pouring a concrete foundation, wireframe mockups help plan your website's layout. Wireframe mockups do not need to be elaborate or fancy, and again, just pencil and paper work just fine. Or you can use website mockup software like Balsamiq, which we use at our office. Balsamiq has been around for years and is used by thousands of website designers. Pro tip: when creating a mockup, the hardest thing to do is stare at a blank screen and create something from scratch. So instead, what you want to do is use other websites for inspiration. Look at different websites and cherry pick the best things you like, and incorporate those ideas into your website mockups, because it's 1,000 times easier to edit something than to create it from scratch. Moving on to step number 6. This is where the fun begins, because now it's time to build your site based upon the mockups you just created. To build your site, you're definitely going to need a WordPress theme, which is basically a framework or a skin that makes WordPress look like a website. WordPress is still doing all the work underneath the hood. Your WordPress theme just makes WordPress look pretty. A popular place to purchase WordPress themes is themeforest.net, or you can purchase WordPress themes directly from the developer. Two popular examples are the Astra theme or the Cadence theme. If you're not a coder or you don't know HTML or CSS, you want to try and find a theme that most closely resembles your website mockup that won't require much, if any, modification. Now, word of caution, make sure you stick with a WordPress theme that's popular and gets good reviews and is continually supported by the developer with ongoing updates or bug fixes. Otherwise, you might run into problems with your site down the road, and I speak from experience. Once upon a time, I used to use custom-built themes from places like ThemeForest and StudioPress, but several years ago, I switched to something called Thrive Theme Builder, which allows me to create a WordPress theme exactly how I want to, and it gives me complete control over every aspect of my theme: the header, the footer, the main navigation, the page layouts, everything. I'm not locked into any limitations of a pre-built theme. You're also going to need a drag and drop page builder, which is different than your WordPress theme. A page builder allows you to add content to your site and style that content however you want on each page of your site. There are a number of page builders on the market. The one I use is called Thrive Architect, from the same company that produces Thrive Theme Builder. I've been using the Thrive suite of products since 2015 because they're a good company that continually supports and updates their products. Yes, they cost money, but they're very affordable. And like most things in life, you get what you pay for. And for me, I'd rather work with high quality, well-built tools, even if it costs me a few dollars, rather than some free tool that's unreliable and gives you nothing but headaches. Again, I speak from experience. And by the way, now that you're seeing what's involved with building a modern professional website, if it's more complicated or more time-consuming than you realize, and you don't feel like messing with all this, we offer done-for-you services. Just go to markbrinker.com/get-help and request a phone consultation to see if we're a good fit to help you out. Then finally, step number 7, it's time to rigorously test your site before you launch it and go live. Some of the common things you want to test for are grammar, spelling, and typos. Read over every single word of your site. Test every link on your site, whether it be in the main navigation, in the body of your text, in their footer, everywhere. Click on every link to confirm it doesn't give you a 404 page not found error. Test all the forms on your website to make sure they're working and you're getting email notifications. Check your website and see how it looks on a mobile device. Not just a mobile simulator in your web browser, but literally get out your phone and look at your site on your phone. And depending on your industry, don't be surprised if 40, 50, or even 60% of your traffic comes from mobile devices. So you must deliver a good mobile experience. Now, I could do an entire video on each of the 7 steps I've just outlined in this video, but the goal today was just to give you the 30,000-foot overview so you can see the entire process start to finish of how everything fits together. As promised earlier in this video, I'm going to tell you the #1 mistake people make that slows down their website: serving up bloated image files. Images from smartphones, digital cameras, or even stock photos from places like iStockPhoto or Shutterstock are usually way bigger than what you need on a website. They contain way more raw data for things like high-res digital printing than you need for a website. So when you use excessively large, unoptimized images, it takes time to download those large image files from your web server to the person's web browser. Then that person's web browser has to downsample that large image to fit it in the designated space on your web page, requiring additional time and resources. And if there are multiple images on a page, this problem is amplified and compounded even further. Using excessively large, unoptimized images is one of the most common reasons for slow loading web pages. And the way you fix this problem is, #1, you resize your images and scale them down to the appropriate size before you add them to your website. And then secondly, optimize your images and strip out all the extra image data you don't need, which is called image compression. For years, I've used the free image optimization service called called tinypmg.com to compress images for the sites that I build. You can also use a paid WordPress plugin like Imagify that will do all this for you automatically. For more information on how to optimize images for your website, I have a free guide on my website, and the link to that guide is in the description below. So that's it. That's how you make a website start to finish. To recap, number 1, buy a domain. 2, purchase a website hosting plan. 3, install WordPress. 4, create your site's content. 5, create wireframe mockups. 6, select a WordPress theme and page builder, then build your site. And then number 7, rigorously test, then launch. As always, if you found this video helpful, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is Mark Brinker. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.